I'm not from England.
You just deleted the message.
The thing was like, roar.
That's the start.
That's the best intro I've ever
Oh, we're recording shit.
Hey, welcome to HighScore Throwdown.
That's my line!
I'm your host and panelist. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I'm your host for this week. We got something special for y'all.
Beer money!
Thank you.
Beer!
Money!
Cue country music.
I don't think we have any.
We'll add it in later.
We got something special for y'all today.
Spotify.
This is the Go With Your Gut edition. Our
Mine's-
panelists have no idea what the questions are for tonight. And
No prep.
No idea.
Unsanctioned.
Drinking.
That's why I have this blank piece of paper in my pocket that I prepared nothing on.
And I also
I need more booze!
want the record to show that we have a plethora of alcohol in front of us.
And I have an iced tea.
There's vodka in that, I know it.
Here you go.
Somebody
No,
spike
very
his...
good.
No, Mario, you should try this.
Okay, I'll try it.
You'll like it.
I'm going to open it
Delicious.
for you, so you have to drink it.
Okay.
You want one? Does John want one?
John's gonna try one.
He'll probably like it.
He's
It's
gonna
actually
screen it
really
for
good.
Mario.
Nope, John's drinking that one. He touched
I
it.
promise I didn't put any roofies in there.
You touch
Put
it.
roofies
You
in
touch it. You finish it.
It's not bad.
He
Alright,
just went cross-eyed.
All right, let's do this high score throwdown.
alright, so we're gonna jump right in.
Well, I just want to say first of all that Chris Hawk is now our permanent host of
After
High Score
today.
Throwdown.
No, he's not really.
Yeah. George is filling in for him, and John Knoke over here is going to be the permanent fact checker.
Over here.
I like to be on the panel personally. I feel
I
Get
really
over it.
don't, because I feel like if I'm ever on a panel with Nick Knoke again, I'm gonna
British.
slap him in his girlish face.
Well, I mean, I can't get salty when I'm the judge or the fact checker. So
I'm just
the
kidding,
Salt
Nick, I
King
love you.
needs to be on the panel.
Got it.
Alright, so anyway, back from last week for a redemption shot, we have Alberto.
That's
Burn it up. Burn it up. Burn it up. Burn it up.
Burton.
I think he's actually got a chance this time because nobody's done research, and I know he wouldn't have anyway, even if he did know the questions.
I wouldn't win, regardless.
You don't do research?
No.
He
Bro,
did research last week.
Yeah.
Well,
I researched.
Look,
I have to
He
say,
was just like me on
I'll tell
my
you
first
this.
time.
I didn't do research the first time. I did some research the second time. The third time I did more research, but the fourth time I was on, I don't think I've been on 4 times.
He's a veteran.
I'm a
Veteran.
vet, bro.
You know what else has
But
four
still,
in it?
this is go with your gut, so you have equal
I'm
a
United
chance
States
as
champion.
Berto.
Alright.
Battlefield has 4.
Speaking of, our second panelist tonight is Joey Hill,
I am the king of salt.
self-proclaimed.
Salty dicks.
the Salt King.
I'm
King
just
of
gonna
nicknames.
accept that.
And third, I'm going to allow this. Third, and definitely not least, Mario B,
That's me.
Mario, the alcoholic beverage.
without whom we would not be here tonight.
And have sex with you.
So-
guys.
Jumping on.
I'd just like to fact check and just say this is brought to you by Enzymes. Go with your gut. It's on Amazon. $8.
Thanks, Enzymes.
And that is John Knoke, our fact checker.
I hope
for
we don't
tonight.
get
I
ulcers.
want a fact check on that.
He pulled it up from the internet.
That was
You have to
that was a
fact check
fact
the
check.
fact check.
$8
He was
on
fact
Kindle.
checking himself.
1666 paperback.
Enzymes.
That's pretty
Enzymes.
cheap. Y'all
Go with
should
your
buy
gut.
it.
Enzymes.
Y'all should buy it.
Enzymes.
All right, let's do it.
All right, question number 1.
Enzymes.
What is the best post-Mario platforming game? We're going to start the night off with Alberto.
Pass. I can't think of anything right now.
First platformer. Go. Come on. You got this. Fact checking you.
So wait, restate the question for me one more time.
Best post-Mario platformer.
So,
after Mario.
but I could. Does it have to be a Mario game?
No. It cannot be a Mario game.
Oh man, I really wish I could have done a little research.
So since
You don't like family games?
No, I'm going with my gut here, and I'm going to win this.
it's not your turn, so
It
shut
doesn't
up.
have to be a family game. They're
It's
great.
not your turn, so
All right,
shut
I already
up.
know what I'm going to pick.
I'm gonna pass.
Mario.
I'm gonna say Rayman Legends. I just got it for free on the Xbox One, and I'm gonna go with my gut because the first thing that popped in my mind, it's, I mean, it's hard to argue when you're going with your gut, but
That's the point.
it's multiplayer. You can play up to 4 people. You can play on Xbox Live with other people online, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know how many levels there are because I haven't gotten through it yet. But I had the Rayman before that, and that was kind of fun. And you know, the the graphics wise, like the background graphics is pretty cool, and there's like an innovative thing where you can bounce off a mushroom and go into the background, and you can land on like another set of platform, and you can.
Is it like a second stage?
Kind of. It's just like the stage within the stage.
Okay.
And I haven't gotten that far in it, but I think
I haven't even started playing it.
I think it's pretty fun. I'm liking it so far, so that's what I'm gonna say.
And we go over to Joey Hill.
All right. So for my pick, I'm gonna go with my research here. I'm gonna go with Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I think that Prince of Persia did a lot for the platforming genre, and it also brought something new into the platforming genre. Something
just for
hadn't been really, it'd been done a little bit, but it wasn't done on the level that Prince of Persia really did it. Was the way you manipulated time throughout the game. You were able to rewind things, fast forward, you could stop things and kind of plan what you were doing. And then it had some great platforming in it as well, you know. Pretty classic, climbing on walls, jumping across gaps, rolling under things.
Is that
Quick
like a
question,
remake?
just for my own personal record, that's the very first Prince of Persia?
Yeah, I'm going with the first Prince of Persia.
We're talking about
just so I
the
know.
movie or the game?
We're talking about the game. This is HighScore
Oh,
Throwdown.
okay.
I was confused for a moment. I thought we were talking about the movie.
No, it was a game before it was a movie.
Yeah. So that's my answer. I'm going to go with Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
I'm gonna have to go. I thought of it, and Ninja Gaiden. Fucking hard as balls. I mean, who doesn't love a hard game? So.
Damn it! I forgot about all those Sega games.
And to this day.
Is this that side scroller one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the side
Okay.
scroll?
Can I change my answer?
Well, I mean,
No.
the remake was actually a little bit of a platformer in itself too.
I like
it's
your
beautiful. Also hard as
I like
balls.
Rayman.
I did not get past the first boss on the first one. Got to the last boss on the second one. And that's
Ninja Gaiden has never really been known for being easy.
It gets
the third
easier.
one. The third one.
It gets easier as you go.
The third one was
The first one's
really,
really
easy.
hard.
I heard it was really.
I broke 2 controllers over that game.
Anytime
I
I
know
saw
you
the
did. I
Ninja
was there.
Gaiden 2 case, I
For
would
one of them.
my blood pressure would spike up, and I'd want to kill a baby.
I do want to say that Prince of Persia was it was challenging in the respect that doing the platforming actions, trying to solve these puzzles and things because you got visions of the future, and it would kind of give you glimpses of what you needed to do, and trying to figure and piece that together and solve all the puzzles was a great thing. But it wasn't as difficult as Ninja Gaiden. A lot of people, like Berto said, didn't get past the first boss. And I know tons of people who still can't get past the first boss. So for me, I think the best platformer is going to be a platformer that you can finish and still has a lot of great aspects to it.
Mario, you got anything to add?
I mean, Rayman is iconic. Everybody loves Rayman. Get it?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think,
TV reference.
and I think that
Everybody loves Raymond, you know?
I think that like to update him, to update a platformer today is probably hard. Like they did it with Strider, and Strider's freaking awesome.
It
and
is.
I think what they did with Rayman does justice to Rayman, and I think the graphic wise and the gameplay wise will appeal to kids, and also appeals to people
just
who
lost
played
your
Rayman.
I feel like
Kids games don't win here.
Mario. I feel like it's a remake, so it's more or less just porting something that Rayman has already established and just letting you do it again. I'm going with Prince of Persia: Sands of Time here because it was the first one, and
So you're talking about the one on the original Mac,
I mean both
on the MacBook, not the MacBook, the original
the
Mac computer.
Mac computer. No, I'm talking about the one that everybody played on their PlayStation. It was the first. It took that 2D great platformer and put it into a 3D platformer with a lot of cool tips, or like cool little aspects to it, with a way to control time, and also it did it very well. A lot of 2D platformers don't always transition well into 3D. So for Prince of Persia: Sands of Time to be able to go ahead and do that, it really took a lot of people by surprise in that aspect, I think.
I'm gonna have to say, with Ninja Gaiden, 3 words: giant ninja boobs.
Were they in the original one, or are we talking about the remake or the original one?
Oh, I'm gonna go with the remake.
Okay.
I've actually played that one. I haven't played the side scroller. I know of the old side scroller on the.
Hey, fact check.
Yeah.
Fact check. Did they put giant ninja boobs in the original Ninja Gaiden on the NES?
That's gonna be a hard question.
No.
No, because they
I
would be
own it.
square.
I guess
think so.
they're square. 8-bit boobies.
like,
Hey,
never be.
those existed.
I know.
Weird. Like,
Can I
You would
change
see
my
like a line coming up from like
You
the,
change your
the
answer
it
to
front
just
it?
line.
be like
Do it.
extra circle, I guess.
It would-
sticking
it
out.
This is the
look
go
like
with your
this.
gut. Your gut can change.
It would
1 minute
seriously
you're
look
eating
like that.
Hooters, the next minute you're eating Wendy's.
It would look like that.
Can
That's
I-
all it would look like.
I
Can
like
I
it.
change my answer
I'm
to the
beating off to
original
that.
Shinobi?
No.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna call it.
My game's free, by the way.
Right now on Xbox Live Gold. That's right. Get Xbox Live. Xbox
You
Live
do
Gold.
have to buy
Go with your
Xbox
gut.
Live Gold first.
Hey, you know what you could do?
I'm gonna give it to Joe on this one.
Woo!
Ninja Gaiden 3 got a 3 out of 10.
Can we rewind
I
that?
believe it. I would believe that.
No, we can't.
Oh, this isn't Prince of Persia. Don't rewind it. Fast forward. Next question.
You just altered history.
That's what the game's all
All
about.
right. Next question. The best video game vehicle.
Oh, I'll tell you what it's
There are
not.
so many.
Are
No, you
shaking
won't.
your
Not
head,
yet.
John?
Mako.
Mario.
Oh my god, there's
You're up
so
first.
many things.
Best video game vehicle.
I think I got it.
You know, when this question comes in mind, you think about a lot of vehicles in video games.
Racing games do not count.
Racing games do not count.
Why not?
Damn. Okay, I was
Because
gonna
there's
say.
too many
I was
options.
gonna say-
What about
from
like
Twisted
Grand
Metal.
Theft Auto, where you can get in and out of a car?
I was gonna say. Well, actually, that's my answer. I'm gonna say the tank from GTA.
That's a good.
Which GTA?
But why Mario?
which
Which
GTA?
Which GTA?
Vice City.
Oh, okay.
Turn the turret around.
Yeah.
We're doing 120 miles an hour. I don't care.
Because in Vice City, if you have up to 5 stars, the tanks are. I even think it was 4 stars because I don't think I ever got 5 stars in Vice City.
No,
But
I think
4
it's
stars.
5 stars. Tanks don't come till 5.
Yeah.
Well, it was easier
Well, you
in
had
Vice
a code
City.
to spawn one in front of you.
Yeah,
That's true.
it was.
True.
And what you could
Are there
do
codes
is
in the
you
new one?
like you just
Fact check.
cars run into it, they blow up. I mean, and then
It's a tank. That's what they
and then
do.
you can just turn around.
That's
and
what happens
shoot
in
it.
real life.
It's just
I
the
would
most.
know.
It's just the most destructive vehicle in any video game, and that's my argument.
Yes, there are codes in the new one.
Joey.
All right, it's tough for me to go with my gut here because me, Joey Hill, I just want to point out that I absolutely love giant robots. So it's really hard for me to pick just one giant robot because clearly I'm gonna pick a giant robot. But I think the one for me that I had the most fun driving, piloting, and kicking everybody's butt in was in Lost Planet. When you got in those mechs in that game, that was awesome. I really loved the way you could dash with them. They had all these guns. You could swap the guns mid-game while you get out of the mech. You pull the gun off. You could then kill things with the gun that you just pulled off of the mech.
Lost
Throw
Planet
the
was
gun
pretty
down.
good.
Pick a new gun up. Put it back on your mech. Get in your mech and trample things and blow them up. It was awesome. They had a lot of really cool mechs in that game. If I had to pick one, it's definitely
That's pretty epic.
it's definitely the one that had all like the dash abilities that you could jump up in the air and fly around and stuff. It was the one that looked more like a human and had kind of like a dome head.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was
But I
on the
bet-
cover.
But
it
I
was on the
bet
cover.
once it ran into the GTA tank, it would blow up.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that would happen for a second. It would probably smush it and cut it in half or something.
Birdo. I think I know what he's
I'm
gonna
really
say.
torn between two titles right now.
Is it the
And-
Mako from Mass Effect?
No.
It should be.
Oh, that was the most terrible.
Oh,
What about
God.
the Hammerhead? Mass Effect
I'm
2?
gonna have to.
The
go
Hammerhead
with,
was actually a better vehicle than the Mako.
from the Sega Dreamcast, the Gundam Wing game.
Taking it way back.
Whoa, the
Gundam Wing
I
game.
mean, there's nothing better than
Which one?
taking the one that had the demo out for it. That's the only one that I played. I don't remember the name.
I know what you're
Probably
talking
Mike.
about. I know what you're talking about.
Here's my question though, Burton. I know technically a Gundam is a vehicle, but was that game centered? You were always in the Gundam. Could you get out of the Gundam and go and fight people?
You couldn't, but I mean, what's more badass than having a giant ass laser sword and just chopping everything? In
But technically, in that game, you're playing as a vehicle, but it's not a rideable vehicle for the
But-
game. You're just playing as it the
that's
whole
true,
time.
but it is a vehicle in in
In the
terms.
universe, it's a vehicle.
It is a vehicle. Like
Eh,
if you know the
I
universe,
suppose, depending
you are
on
a
how you
pilot.
define this
I'm
question.
gonna allow that answer.
Okay.
Fact checking the question. It didn't say rideable vehicle. It just said vehicle.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
All right, I took it as rideable, but I'm still gonna stick with my Lost Planet answer. That thing was awesome.
I'm gonna go with Gundam.
Did you ever get to play Capcom versus SNK?
No, I have not.
Oh man,
I'm gonna go off on a limb and assume it was the Wing Gundam that you were demoing.
I believe that's what it was.
Because I mean that's like the
generic.
of Gundam.
Yeah.
It's the basic bitch of Gundam.
I mean, when I think Gundam, I think the original RX-78.
When I think of Gundam,
Well, slow down.
when I think of Gundam, I think of the frickin' heavy arms.
When I think of Gundam,
Like
I
fucking
think of
4 Gatling guns.
Mermaid
on his
Gundam from G Gundam.
Oh, so we all think of different Gundams.
We all do think of different.
Does anybody think of SD Gundam?
I think of the original RX-78 Amuro Ray.
No?
I think the Gundam you're thinking of is Gundam Side Story 0079. That's what it looks like.
Is that it?
I think that's
the one.
what I'm getting.
Okay. Yeah, because I love the hell of it. I constantly played the demo. I wish I actually had a Dreamcast so I could enjoy the full game more, because what I loved of the demos.
$200 video game habit.
Nah, I will not do that.
This is
That's
not
commitment.
Yeah.
the parental advisory is advised.
Yes or no? Need to fully commit to this.
Commit or don't commit, Barton.
If this is happening, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, go hard or go hard.
I like this guy.
All right.
I'm gonna call it,
Okay, all right. I was
I'm
going to
gonna
argue
call
my
it.
Lost Planet mech a little more.
and I'm giving the point to Mario
Yes.
because he touched the heartstring with me. Come on now, I drove tanks for 3 years.
All right, I know how to win this then.
I bet if a Gundam ran
But
into
no.
the
little
tank
salt on that,
it would blow up.
Salt
The
on this
sword,
wound.
the sword would just
But
explode.
to add to my reasoning,
I should have went.
I played
Battlefield.
Vice City. I drove the tanks. I played the Gundam Wing game. I did that. I played the demo for Lost Planet.
Okay.
I never got the
It's a
full
pretty
game,
good game.
They never let you drive the main mech in the demo
which is
though.
why I can't really say much.
It was great.
You had a
Dashing.
great argument.
It was great. You dash. You have all these tons of different weapons. They had weapons that I was like, I don't even know how to use this weapon. It's so crazy. And then like you could jump, and you had like you could dash in midair. You could dash on the ground. There was a lot of dashing.
What
and
if
it was
it dashed
amazing
into the GTA
how fast
tank?
paced.
I was gonna
It
go
blow
with
up.
You had a laser chainsaw that came out of your wrist, and you could hack things in half. And you fought giant heat insects that you cut in half. You also fought other mechs, and you fought tanks, and you got infantry guys. That was
There's
pretty
also-
cool.
You can stop defending.
There's
I'm
also-
sorry.
I
Right.
already got the point.
I really love that game. Actually,
It was
Lost
also
Planet
the first
is a
game-
great game.
You're
Yeah,
probably
Lost
gonna go
Planet-
home and play it again.
Lost Planet was like the first game I think in the multiplayer that it gave you the day and night and the weather changes.
Yeah, they
too.
did do that. I don't know if that was the
I'm kind of
first game.
surprised
that did
nobody
was the
said
first
the
game.
ogre from.
But I remember that was a big
Titanfall,
selling
but
point
that's
for it.
Whatever.
It
I
does
was
look like
I was thinking
the ogre.
Titanfall, but I was like, and I also was gonna go with Armored Core.
That's.
I was really torn. That's the one I was. I should have went with that one. That was the first one I thought of, and then I thought of.
All right, moving right along.
Let's go with your gut, man. So
I did pretty. Big
Question number 3: best cutscene in a video game.
best cutscene.
Best cutscene.
Oh,
This is gonna take some.
let's go with your gut. So,
And we're gonna start off with Joey.
ugh.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my gut here because that's what this edition's all about. So as soon as you said best cutscene in
My
a game,
head hurts.
what pops into my head? And two things
I don't know,
pop
that's
into
what
my
I'm
head,
asking.
and it's tough to pick. They're from the same game franchise. So
Please don't.
I think for what I'm going to go with is the scene where
Point?
Sephiroth kills Aerith in Final Fantasy VII. That you
That's
didn't.
your
Know, I did
joker.
not see that coming. I'm not even going to lie. And that cutscene blew my mind. For the age I was when I saw that, I was blown away. I was like, no, this is what kind of game is this? It's Final Fantasy VII. That's what game it is. You walk up,
Monkey
you're
wrench
Cloud.
after monkey wrench.
You walk up to her, and everything's quiet. You're in this like kind of it's like kind of like an underwater boneyard looking place, very strange, unique type place. And then the cutscene starts, and Cloud's getting ready. He's probably gonna. You don't really know what he's gonna say. You kind of have an idea of what he's feeling, whether it's love, friendship, or you don't know because this is the moment where he's supposed to spill those words, where everything's gonna come out of him, and he's gonna turn around and he's gonna become that hero he's supposed to be. And so he approaches the girl of his dreams, the girl that literally has been in his dreams, and then out of nowhere, the nemesis comes down from the sky and a blade straight through her chest, and you're just like, And then they play some music.
then?
They play this soft melody
Excuse me a second.
as you watch her necklace fall apart, and this little gem, this little pearl, falls down into the water. And that's it. Blew my mind. Took my breath away. And that's one of the first scenes that popped in
Just
my head.
fact checking that scene. She was stabbed in the abdomen, not the chest.
Yeah, it was kind of like.
There's a
well,
not actually.
I mean,
I read
if you look where my hands are,
You just
turning out,
ruined the move!
it's like right under her bust line where the sword
read
comes
that.
down.
It's kind of further down. You can tell.
Okay.
I just watched cutscene.
I've read a theory that Cloud is actually the
There's
one that
headphones
kills
there if you really want.
Ares.
Really?
Yeah, like the
Alright.
wound that's Sephiroth
Well,
deals
that's
is
That's my
non-fatal.
answer.
Really?
Mario
Okay.
B. That's the first. That's my gut answer.
course
It popped in my head right
Of
away.
course, it's a theory.
He actually comes in from the sky in like a downward motion.
Yeah,
and
he
then
just
stabs
drops.
her horizontally. It's actually kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like JFK bullet.
Plot
It's kind of like the way the sword like curves.
It's a long ass sword though.
Yeah, it
Good bend,
really
you know.
is.
Yeah.
It's super long.
And with that answer, we have our first Final Fantasy reference of this entire series.
Just surprising.
No, we've had Remember Chris Hawk? Final Fantasy 13's the best
That
game
was
he's
a-
ever played.
That was a
Best
speed
story,
round question.
best characters, best villain, better game.
Oh my God, that was
Hey,
a
he got the
terrible
point,
answer.
but he still got the point.
I'm
Because I
sorry.
didn't know what the fuck he was
All
talking
right,
about.
all right. Let's go to the next panelist.
Anyway,
I need to.
anyway. Next is Berto.
Alright, I'm gonna have to throw it to the PlayStation 3. Metal Gear Solid.
Took it way back.
Throwback Friday. Far back Friday. I'm gonna have to go with Metal Gear Solid 4. The scene at the end where
Spoiler alert.
Big Boss confronts Snake with Zero, and it's just a really touching moment because he actually recognizes
Where's your touch on me? I mean, go on.
everywhere, everywhere. You know this little place.
I need to play
Just
that game.
warm spot.
I'm not playing it for the game. I just want to get touched all over.
That's all you do. That's all you play Metal Gear Solid for is to touch people.
I don't want to be
And you
touched.
do that.
I don't want to
But,
be touched all
but,
over. I just want
anyways,
to be
no.
touched on the.
Anyways, back to my point.
I just want my wiener touched.
Just picking guys
At
up.
the end, he finally recognized, it's like a father-son moment. He recognizes Snake as a man, and he accepts him as a person, and tells him to go off the path that he has chosen, to not be a machine of war, to continue doing what he is doing, because he's seeing Snake turn into what Big Boss was, and he didn't want him to do that. And then the Lolly Lule Low Patriots actually injected Old Snake with a new Foxdie virus that ended up killing Big Boss in the end. And at the moment, like as soon as he's in front of Boss's graveyard, just dying because it's so tough.
Burton's
He
tearing up.
gives
legit.
one final
Take your
salute to Boss. And at that moment, you just see the flashback, and it's just
I see
it
tears.
hits me deep. Yeah, no, I'm tearing up for real. Like that was one of the
It's
strongest
legit. He
moments.
is tearing up. His
Like,
eyes are red
those
and
were-
puffy.
It's one of the most touching moments in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and that's the one reason I love those games. They get you with excellent character development. They give you a great story with each of the characters, and it's a tragic story. 90% of the time, it's a tragic story. The scene where Otacon falls in love with Sniper Wolf.
One scene. We're picking one
Okay.
cutscene.
Okay, all right, sorry.
Cutscene.
All right, sorry, but
One
yeah,
cutscene.
no, definitely, yeah, I would have to say the end scene with Big Boss, Zero, and Old Snake at the end.
All right, Mario.
I'm gonna have to say, when you beat Halo 1 on Legendary and Sergeant Johnson hugs the Elite. I'm joking. Seriously, I
That's
think,
actually a great cutscene.
That is pretty cool.
I think it
grabs
have
his
to
butt a
be.
little bit.
It is a Halo 1 answer. I was thinking about it while you guys were doing your answers. I think it's when you and Cortana get to the Halo mainframe because a 343 Guilty Spark brings you there, and you find out it's a weapon, and you find out why 343 brought you there. I think that scene right there, like, because you're sitting there, you're battling to get to that damn fucking thing, and I think that's my curse word of the whole thing. But anyway,
I think we're gonna have to go back, fact check, go listen to all the HighScore Throwdowns.
Right now,
but I think
put us on pause.
I think that just you get there and you're like, okay, I'm here, and then you're just like, what? what am I doing? What are you doing? And then, I mean, you always kind of had a feeling that he was gonna be bad, but
He's bad?
spoiler.
Way to spoil the game for me.
Way
Damn.
to spoil a 20-year-old game.
It was just shocking, and then you have to work.
It's not.
And then after that, you gotta work your way back.
Something like that. I don't
Work your way back through the whole freaking level.
Fact check. How old is Halo?
Second.
But I think it was
Yeah,
it was a
2000
major major
2001.
twist in the game, and I think it was in the story, and I think it brought like each time you played a level in Halo 1, I think you just got closer and closer to the story. You're just like, I want to beat it, I want to beat it, I want to beat it, and that just elevated it even more for you to be. You were so drawn in at that point, it just drew you in even more.
Mario,
It
don't
is,
you think?
it's 14 years old in
Yeah, it's
November.
2001.
Close.
Yeah.
Close.
Mario, don't you think that there's more iconic
Still,
scenes
if
in
you have
Halo than
sex
just
with
that
it,
one?
it's very illegal.
Huh?
Don't you think there's more iconic scenes in Halo than that scene?
Like
Like
this-
maybe
the
maybe
scene-
the one where he's holding the grenade in his hand, and he's it's right after Cortana tells you, hey, we got to blow up the ship manually, and he's like, oh, we only need one well placed grenade, and then the camera pans over to Chief, and he's already holding the grenade in his hand.
Yeah, but that's something that's like a badass. That's something being badass. I don't care about that. This
What
is
about-
a,
what
and
about-
this is a
He's
twist
going
in the
for-
story.
yeah.
Halo
This
for me
is-
was
What about the
being
scene
badass.
where you find Commander
that's pretty
Keys,
true.
Captain Keys, turned into a giant flood mass, and you have to kill him?
That broke my heart because Captain Keys was my favorite character.
All right. I'm going to call it here. I got to say, the waterworks won it. Berto gets the
I should have
point.
cried.
Dude, I'm gonna go back and
should've
watch
cried.
it. I'm gonna go back
Should've
and watch
cried.
it. Just
And then he stabbed her.
Where's my salt shaker?
no, that'll produce pain.
I
3-4-3's
think we
bad.
actually
My
put it
Oh, I was gonna pour it in your eyes.
No, I think we actually put it away because you were using too much of it.
Oh, that's right.
All right. So, question 4. What is the best exclusive shooter? Meaning, a shooting game can be over the shoulder or first person that is exclusive to a particular system.
And remains exclusive, correct? Not at the time when it came out.
Remains exclusive.
Okay. That's
That kind of rules out Halo.
Well, I got one.
no. Well, I mean,
That's good, Berto, because we're starting with you.
I'm gonna go. It's actually an indie game that you can purchase on Steam for, I believe, $25 hairs.
It's only on Steam.
It is only on Steam. It is only available on computer. It is actually derived from, I believe, Counter-Strike Source. They branched off to their own game. It is Insurgency. Very realistic, very tactical, very team-oriented. You have multiple play modes. The handling on the guns is really amazing. The endurance system is really good. Say you're sprinting for an extended amount of time. Obviously, you're going to get tired. What else is that going to affect? Your aiming. So with that, you won't be able to steady your gun and get your correct shots off. Also,
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
rate of fire,
I'm
definitely.
probably going to download it.
Rate of fire is definitely
Sounds cool.
control
What's
fire,
that?
control burst.
it's hard. It's hard.
Definitely
Just
preferred
go with your gut, man.
over full auto. Yeah, unless you got the LMG class and you just bipod up, you're good to go.
I wanted to give you more time.
There is an armor system. You can have light armor, no armor, or heavy armor. Heavy armor is obviously going to weigh you down more, so you're going to run slower, but you can take more hits. Light armor, but you can take hits, but not as much as heavy armor. It'll weigh you down, but not as much as heavy armor. No armor, you can just go off into a full sprint. Your endurance will be as high as it can be. You can and that'll affect also your endurance. Weapons have weight. Everything in that game has weight, so you have to pick and choose what items and equipment that you want to take with you in battle. You also have a limited number of magazines. Their weapon system is just you swap out mags. So if you waste half a magazine, you still have that magazine. You just swap it out for another one, and you can come back to it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, which would really fuck you over
It's
because
realistic.
yeah.
I don't know any
Oh,
other
I
game
got
that
one
does
mag
that.
left. Shit, there's only 12 bullets in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw
That
frag.
happened. I had a mag left.
Still not
and there was
360
2 bullets left,
combinations,
and
though.
I was fucked. I couldn't kill the guys capping the base. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with Insurgency. Just everything about that game is super tactical, realistic, and lots of fun.
I like that answer. Mario.
Oh, okay. This is a hard one to come up with. I'm gonna say Metroid Prime.
The hard part for this was coming up with a backup in case Mario picked mine and he didn't.
Samus is iconic. She's an iconic character for Nintendo. She started off on a side. She's always been with Nintendo, and I think if you look how it started out as a side scroller platformer, and it moved on and it became a first person with Metroid Prime. And then Metroid Prime 2, and then Metroid Prime Echoes was the third one, right? You can fact check me on that one. But I just recently bought all three on my Wii U, which is cool. Sorry, excuse me. But
I'm getting a Wii U.
What'd you say it was?
By the way.
Metroid Prime Echoes?
You should get one.
Metroid
Prime,
Metroid Zero Mission.
I applied for the GameStop credit card and they approved me instantly. And I asked Kate first, but she said no. I'm gonna do it
Metroid Prime
anyways.
3 Corruption.
Oh. Well, I was wrong. But anyway, I think that those games, because it is first person, right? Wouldn't you technically say that's first person? I think those are some of the best first person games and some of the best shooters to be on like a Nintendo system. And the monsters, there's boss fights like Halo. Halo, for example, it doesn't really have boss fights. It's just waves of enemies that you go up against when you get farther into the level.
They did have a boss fight in, I believe it was the second
Halo
one?
2?
Yeah, with the brute.
No, that was the only one.
They did have that, and
The
then
Prophet,
also the
right?
Prophets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Metroid Prime, every level has like a boss, doesn't it? It pretty much has a boss like every.
It wouldn't be
every level
Metroid
you
without
get through.
bosses, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah,
If they-
you're
I think that gives you
correct.
advantage.
If they didn't do
There was
bosses, then their fans would be outraged.
Then you got the Metroid Hunters game. I don't know if I can count that, but that was multiplayer on the handheld, and that was pretty cool to play. You can play deathmatch. I think it was only deathmatch you can play. But I'm gonna say Metroid Prime, and I'm gonna drop the mic. Boom, bang.
All right.
Before you go on, I just would like you to know this. Where did I just read that? Nintendo actually classifies Metroid Prime as a first-person adventure game, not a first-person shooter.
It's kind of a shooter, though.
They do
You
not
still have
classify
an
it as
arm. You still have an arm cannon, so I'll allow it. That's because I don't think he wants to pick up a true answer.
It's a hard one. It's a very it's a tight genre.
Yeah, it
Like-
is. It's hard to come up with
Definitely-
with an
There's a lot of gold and there's a lot of poop.
Definitely a lot easier with computer games.
All right, Joey Hill.
All right, Mario. Before I tell George my answer, I'm going to tell George my answer, but I want you to get under my little hut with me. Get under the little hut.
What?
We need to not get killed by the Hammer of Dawn.
Oh my God.
Okay? So for me, my pick is Gears of War. I choose Gears of War.
The
An
hut.
old favorite of mine.
On the Xbox. When that game came out, first of all,
Wait.
we had Halo, and we were like, nothing's going to be better than Halo. Nothing's going to capture our attention more than Halo.
Give
Boom,
it-
Gears of War comes
give it a
around. And I loved that game. I played the crap out of that campaign. Mario and myself and Chris Hawk, we played an entire summer. Every single night we played Gears of War. Because that
Carl,
multiplayer...
Cam Man.
That kind of pisses me off because I love Gears of War.
I
as
think
much
you
as
were
the next
you were
one.
in Ferrum or something like that at the time. You were doing something, and that's why we didn't.
He went away for college.
Well, you still
Yeah.
could have called me and be like, "Hey, get on Gears of War."
You're right. I apologize for that, George. But did you not love Gears of War?
Of course I did. I
Gears of
played
War.
all
Alberto
three
has
of
a
them.
question.
I think
Is this
for
shooters or first-person shooters?
he said shooters over the shoulder. He said
or-
you could do.
Okay.
Yeah, he said shooters.
It's one or the
So
Okay.
for me, it's definitely Gears of War. The amount of fun I had with that game was just unbelievable, and it was a really solid game with great gameplay, great enemies. There was a boss fight at the end. There was a couple boss fights actually in there, if I recall. They had some really interesting campaign levels that kept the game dynamic, and they broke it up so it wasn't the same firefight happening every 2.5 minutes.
Carmine kept dying.
And then that multiplayer, me and Mario B hiding under that hut, trying not to get killed by the Hammer of Dawn from the guy on the other side of the map. It was
Which
great.
was usually Carl.
That was usually Carl.
I think it
but-
was Carl.
and then Mario's like, "I'm going for it," and he jumps out there and gets killed. And then so I
But
spend
I
the
do
rest
it
of the
on
match
purpose.
hiding under the hut by myself, waiting for Carl to come over here so we can shotgun battle. It was great. It was great. Gears of War, absolutely fantastic. As far as a shooting exclusive, it's going to be Gears of War for me.
This is going to be a tough one to call.
I feel like I really don't want to argue against Gears of War, but I want the point, baby, brother. I think Metroid Prime is just it's more iconic. That game, I think, if they made another Metroid game just like that now, I think people would eat it up. Like that could probably even sell more Wii U's.
I think the Metroid fans would eat it up. Just like if a new Gears of War came out, which I think there is one coming out. The Gears of War fans are going to eat that up.
I'd eat that shit up like a taco.
Yeah, but with the last Gears of War, the Judgment one, I feel like they kind of like Assassin's Creed themselves.
And you know what, George? I would get it, and I would play online with you.
I would play too.
I think we all would.
If it's as good as the first one, but with Gears of War, with Gears of War Judgment,
you're out.
I feel like
get the fuck out of my house.
I feel like they kind of Assassin's Creed themselves because they came out with 3 and then they came right out with.
I feel like they didn't
Judgment.
because it's still the same company. It's not. It wasn't bought out by EA. Or made to be some crazy cash cow.
Like the developer,
the fans wanted the next
something.
ones. The fans want more, and that's why the company's like, all right, let's make.
I don't think anybody
more.
really cared for Judgment.
I did. I love Judgment.
George pre-ordered that shit.
Well, you're
fucking right.
You're not everybody. You're George Beer Money, but you're the host. So anyway, Insurgency I haven't played, but the how you described it is pretty cool.
Yeah,
but I mean,
it's still
epic.
an indie game. It's an indie game. It's
how many
still
people
under
have played
development.
that though? How many people have played that?
Not me.
It's actually not that hard to find a server that is fully populated with up to 24 people.
I haven't really heard of it till now, but Metroid Prime.
It's mainly a computer game. I mean,
you remember Metroid Prime?
Computer gamers are very
never played Metroid Prime myself.
particular.
I have some facts here. All right, first, Gears of War Judgment has a lot of mixed reviews. It got a 5.9 out of everybody that reviewed on GameStop, but it has almost perfect reviews on a lot of other sites, so it's really mixed. Insurgency on Steam actually has almost 24,000 reviews, and it's got a 9 out of 10 on Steam, so people do like it. So.
Yeah, no, it's a fantabulous game.
Are you just looking at the Steam reviews though?
What's on Steam?
Oh, I guess. Well, I mean, what about reviews on other sites?
It's still, the thing about that game.
All right, no, I'm not worried about what the general populace
I was
is.
just looking at.
This is my opinion, and Gears of War for me is the best shooting exclusive.
The thing about Insurgency though, it's still in production. They've come a long way. They still do updates to the game as often as they can. They take a lot of their feedback from the community. They're improving. They're adding weapons. They actually just recently added the 45 caliber pistol to it, the 1911 for the Insurgents, and the pretty much just a better version of the 45.
Now, is this primarily is there a campaign mode to this game, or is it primarily...
There is not a campaign. Well, I guess it would be considered a campaign mode. It's pretty much just a co-op mode where you can gather people with you.
Oh, so no matter what, you're facing AI.
Well, with the co-op mode, yeah, you're facing AI. You play as these security forces, and you reach certain objectives. Like you can do. There's a multitude of different objectives.
Quit whispering.
There's a multitude of different objectives throughout the game. A favorite of mine is Firefight. Actually, 3 bases. Each time you capture a base, you reinforce your team. So, I mean, the games can be either really short, or if you get a really good squad on either side, the games can last as long as the server.
But it's pretty much only multiplayer, right?
Yeah, you can play by yourself. I mean, there's not much fun in that, but it's always.
You know what didn't need multiplayer to be great?
Gears of War!
Metroid Prime. You know what's cool? Metroid
Gears of
Prime
War was a lot better with second person.
If there was any.
I don't think there.
But yeah, I had fun playing by myself. I
not
played
the first one.
A bit of the campaign by myself.
How would you rate the story?
The story. I'd probably if I would give it out of 10, I'd probably give the story me personally, like maybe a 7.5 out of 10.
Would you play for the story, or would you play for the badass action?
I would play for the boss fights because I kind of miss having boss fights. Like Gears of War had those little bitty boss fights.
You gotta play Strider.
I do. I really want to get it.
That game looked really awesome.
I just miss game with boss fights. Like what was that game that came out on 360? The shooter that I wanted everybody to get. Do you remember?
Really interesting.
Do you remember what that was? Bert, do you remember that game that came out was free to play online on Xbox 360? The war game? Warface. Yeah, that was awful. Oh, was it?
I did not like it.
You know,
never mind.
All right, George.
Never mind.
I'm going to expand on what Berto
George,
said,
wait.
and yes, it was terrible.
Let me tell you about a game you love. You got Gears of War. You can play it by yourself and have a great time.
Do you like-
you can play
do
it
you like-
cooperatively.
hold on, do you like-
have
do you
a
like
great
freedom?
time. You can play it
Do you like
online
dishing
with your
out
friends
freedom?
and
Hold
have
on,
a great
hold on,
time.
hold on.
Do you like?
Do you like having water?
It's already hard
water
enough to
effects on your mouse?
choose.
Do you want to see Carmine die again?
Hey, do you,
He's died so many times.
Do you
And
wanna
it's
see-
great every time.
do you want to see water effects on
Do
your
you want to
helmet?
deal out
Metroid Prime.
sweet democratic freedom with your 45
George.
caliber pistol?
Water
I
effects.
gotta
Dom
call
or
it
Marcus?
Steam.
I gotta call it.
First
On
of
your
all,
helmet.
because you asked for other reviews, people give it a 7.5 to an 8.
Okay,
For
all right.
Insurgency on Steam.
Thank
How
you.
about Metroid Prime?
We already know what Metro
Still
Prime
pretty
is.
great.
Okay.
If you'd like me to state it, I will.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna
Okay.
call it. This is. Oh my god! This is the hardest call I have ever had to make.
George,
We
George
argued for
loves
so long.
George loves gore. George loves shooting. He loves blowing things up. He likes tactical stuff.
C4.
We might have argued
So it's
on
a
this
hard,
one for
it's a
pretty
hard
long
decision.
time.
Gears of War has all those
Because
things,
it's
by the
so
way.
f***ing hard.
Yeah.
Because I like Metroid, the boss fights. Oh my god, the boss fights.
George, you just said you
Gears
didn't
of
play
War.
Metroid
Oh my-
Prime.
With Gears of War, I remember.
He did say he didn't play Metroid Prime.
Well, I played the other ones.
Okay, all right.
Up to Prime.
All right. Sorry, George. I apologize.
Anyway, but that's getting into the fucking
Yeah.
platformer.
Yeah.
Also,
Part
if you
of
want
it.
a mod, I'm pretty sure you can put G36 in there.
He's looking at my Airsoft G36 right now, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pander to him. I'm gonna pander
I mean,
my
his-
car."
His game does make me want to buy a computer and get
Mods.
Steam.
Mods, you can mod it.
I like what Berto is dishing out. I have always been an avid fan of Gears of War. Probably, I probably could say honestly that I like Gears of War better than Halo. That's saying I love me some Halo.
But George, the question here is,
First person Gears
who
of War.
presented the best argument, and what game
That's
do you
what I'm
think
trying to
is the
figure
best? Bias aside,
You know my bias. I'm gonna go with Gears of War,
I know
but
that.
I gotta give the point to Berto.
Nope, I doomed myself by saying that.
You kind of did.
We did this whisper about getting.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Our whisper there, George, was regardless of who wins this question, I'm getting Insurgency.
Yeah.
Well, Berto did do a fantastic job of pitching that game. So
Also, I forgot
I'm
to
probably
mention-
gonna.
All right, next question.
Different
Why not?
types of
I'm done. I'm buying the game.
You've already won.
I know, but I want to talk about it. I want to play it right now.
We'll talk later.
Now that you brought it up,
I do.
All right.
really do.
Question number 5. Question number 5. Best video game gun.
Whew, oh.
Branching off of last question.
Oh, I know my answer. I might not win, but I'm going with my gut.
Oh, I got
We're
mine.
starting with Mario.
I love when it comes. I love when it immediately comes to you.
I got it. I got this.
best video
Oh,
game
I just
gun.
thought of a second one. That's
Yeah.
really good.
I got
I
my
hope I go
first
before
one.
you, and you
I
don't
got the
pick one.
second one.
Those grunt things? The little small guy from Halo, the plasma pistol, I hope that's what it is.
Oh,
That's
No.
the best gun.
no. It
No,
is
it's the
the
needler.
Saw from Ghost Recon 2 Summit Strike. Okay, I love that gun. I would get it when we played Ghost Recon 2.
I
You
don't
know,
know if
I'd get the gun and I would just yell Saul and shoot it.
Remember the over the cliff
Saul!
I
club?
remember that.
Yeah.
Over the cliff club?
We would get to
So
the
you're saying the Saw from Ghost Recon 2?
yes. We would get
The over the cliff club.
There was this level that we used to play on for
Random grenade!
terrorist hunt, and you would go to we'd be like, hey, go check out go check out what's over there. I killed a guy who fell over there. Boom, back in the head, you fall over the cliff.
I'm in the club! As your body ragdolls
Yeah.
down the cliff.
And we just used to do it to each other for like
All the time.
All the time.
The whole goal was to kill the other guy and make him fall over the cliff. It wasn't even about playing the game anymore.
we would just we would yell Saul. That's like, I mean,
He had to yell saw.
without that, I mean, that
You
gun,
had to.
it's a real gun, but like.
Yes, it is. I carried
That-
one.
I mean, I probably won't win the argument, but you know, it's a fully automatic heavy machine gun. I mean, you
light.
tore people down with that thing. You
It's
just like,
actually considered a light machine
a
gun.
light
That's
machine
a
gun.
fact.
My bad.
I would know.
I'm not a gun
The
guy.
only reason why I know that is because I used to carry one when I was in the army.
But that
Carry
game,
one
like,
Battlefield.
if it wasn't for Saul and me yelling Saul, if I had that little scorpion gun in Rainbow Six, I wouldn't have yelled Scorpion when I had the scorpion.
over here. Should have yelled that.
And
No, it was
no,
better when he.
check if Ghost Recon 2 came out after Halo 2, because
So many,
I even
so
yelled.
many
I think I
inside
don't know who
jokes with
started
that.
yelling Rambo in Halo 2,
I think that was me.
but
I'm pretty sure that was me.
I think maybe that spawned it too. But that gun, I feel like It's realistic.
It did not.
Okay. It was realistic. I can't. Is that the score?
Joe, stop.
No, it's just a sideways pistol. Rainbow.
But like the score is this. It's a realistic gun. It's fully automatic. You just shoot it and you can hold it nonstop because it's a light machine gun.
Oh, bitches down.
And me yelling Saul. It was just that's my favorite gun in any game.
All right, next panelist, Joey.
All right, this is go with your gut. So win or lose, mine's filled with Bud Light right now, and I'm loving it. My choice.
One drink up.
I'm drinking. Look. My sentences are getting slurred. Look at that. That was unintentional. Anyways, okay. My answer for best gun. I think for me, I like innovation and I like to think outside the box. So I'm gonna go with the portal gun here.
Okay.
So I think the portal gun did something with a gun that you wouldn't expect out of a gun, and you shoot portals, and suddenly this game goes from all right, I'm gonna murder everything to I actually have to think about this and use this gun in a way, and I have to kill these things, these little robot sentries and stuff.
You have to think about how you use the gun.
Yeah, in innovative ways. It's not about I'm running here, blah blah blah. It's like all right, how do I get a portal
That's
under
the
this
saw.
thing? So yeah, that's the saw.
It's
If
in
you
a
had the
nutshell.
saw in Portal, that game would be a lot easier.
Maybe.
So my answer for you, George,
Probably.
is the
You'd be
portal
stuck
gun.
to
The way it took a gun to a new level, and you put a portal on here, and you put a portal on here, and you got to start using momentum to get to places. How do I kill this turret that's going to kill me every single time I walk in this room? I got to figure that out. How do I get my portal to end up underneath that turret?
I got one for Birdo.
I got one.
You better say the gravity gun from Half-Life 2.
I'm half expecting
That was
a
one of the
Battlefield
things
gun.
I was thinking.
Right?
I was thinking,
But
he already
I'm going to let
he already
Birdo
had
give you
the
his
saw.
Why did I
go.
say that?
And I'm just going to let the
Alright,
portal
fair
gun
enough.
stand for itself, because we all know what it does.
We're gonna
I'm gonna throw it back again. Far back Friday, Nintendo 64. Wait, hold up.
Best game controller!
Perfect Dark. Laptop gun.
Oh!
Not only.
Explain this gun to
All right, laptop gun. Have you not played Perfect Dark?
No.
All right, first off, laptop gun. That, honestly, a large magazine.
Who saw Birdo running away with
50 rounds for the magazine and laptop gun. Not only can you use this gun as just a monster of destruction and obliteration, you can set it up as a defensive item and just go off on your own and throw it up in a corner in a heavy trafficked hallway. Just throw it up there. People walk by it, dead in seconds. Fantastic gun.
Hold on, John's got one. It's the watch from GoldenEye.
The winner is the fact checker!
Oh! Did not see that coming.
Actually, your host has one too.
Huh.
The rocket launcher from Fallout 3.
What about
I'll kill your ass with a teddy bear!
George, why not the turtle? Is that what that gun was called?
No, I thought it was a rocket
Or the
launcher.
tortoise?
Oh, wait.
Oh,
I got
from,
another
Earth Defense Force.
Yeah! It moves at
Alright,
like 2
no.
miles an hour.
Wait, we can't change our answers. So I'm sticking
not.
with my portal gun.
Sticking with
What
laptop
what
gun.
about...
I
what about-
like how the portal gun took a gun to a new level.
what
And that
about,
level
like-
made you could fall through it infinitely and literally
This
die from
gun
the speed of it.
started. This was a start of something that could be something so fantastic.
Well, I mean, Portal started Portal.
True.
Portal
My
is a
gun's real.
huge hit. Portal 2 came out of it, and Valve doesn't make threes, so we're pretty much done there.
Mario's
But-
got a pretty good point. His
What's
gun
that?
is real.
The military actually used my gun.
there is a laptop gun.
But I'm not gonna play. I'm not
Somewhere,
gonna lie to you,
maybe.
Mario. I can.
I said it's a question. So.
It's
That's a real
probably
gun.
in Japan.
That's a real
Probably.
gun. I've actually shot a saw, and it's really fun. George has shot a saw, but you can't shoot the portal gun. That's why I'm playing a video game, so I can shoot that gun that isn't real.
You can't throw a laptop gun anywhere and just have it sit up in the corner of your house.
You
and
know-
kill
Well, you
anyone don't
can,
like.
but you'll probably break.
You know what else is a
laptop
good
and
N60,
because-
a
That's
gun
why
from
it's
an
a laptop
N64 game?
and you can
The cow
when
gun.
you're bored.
The cow
All right,
shooter
wait,
from
wait.
South Park.
I think we're getting off track. Way off track.
Yeah, we are like way off track.
So portal gun,
laptop gun.
teleport. Putting portals
Saw.
all over the place, figuring out puzzles with a gun,
Saw!
Quite
and having to
possibly-
kill things in non-conventional ways.
Quite possibly the best gun in the game. It's got your back. It's like a little AI companion.
All right, George.
It's not. Gonna
What about the
look like-
companion cube?
I'm gonna call it.
It's not a gun.
You're right, but you brought it with you using the gun.
I'm gonna give it to Joey.
Woo! Portal never loses. No, legit. Every time Portal's been brought up in HighScore Throwdown, it hasn't lost. Just saying. But I didn't
You're gonna
pick
have
it.
to
I
fact
didn't.
check that.
I didn't pick it for that reason. I didn't pick it for
Did
that reason.
Alberto
Just
win
saying.
last week?
No.
No.
Yeah, then
Oh, you used Portal in last week?
No,
No, that was Huggy.
Did you win?
Yeah, I gave it.
Never mind then.
I told you. That's me doing my
Wait, what
HighScore
was the
Throwdown
game?
research.
What-
No,
that was
George, I
the,
didn't pick. I didn't
Mario
pick the
Party
gun for
10.
that
You
reason.
said
Just so you know.
Mario Party.
But I wish
picked
I could
because
take that
it-
back.
I don't
Yeah.
care. You made the best
What did
argument,
this say?
therefore you get the point.
Question
Diablo.
6.
Diablo won actually, didn't it?
Did it?
I thought it did win. Diablo
I'm pretty sure
won.
Yes,
Diablo
it did.
won. Yeah.
Whirlwind
Oh.
Barbarian. That's all I'm
Because
saying.
a lot of people
See, I don't remember what I
said,
picked.
a lot of people said that if you want to break up with your girl, play Portal.
If you want to wifey that bitch, if you survive, she's wife material through Mario Party. That's it. I mean,
That was his
I
legit
I
argument
should've
last
just-
week.
I should have just ended.
I
it
was
right
waiting
there.
for him to tell me to put the laptop gun in front of her.
But unfortunately
I mean, you
for
could do
you,
That was his legit
unfortunately
argument.
for you on that one, it was not go with the gut edition.
Yeah, that should have.
If it
Go
was,
with
I
your
probably would have given you that one.
Go with your gut.
All right.
Feel it with Bud Light.
Question number 6.
Beer
Six.
money.
Best game to borrow or rent from somebody,
Oof.
but never buy.
Okay. Okay.
Can we have like legitimate stories behind these? Because I
mean,
know
this
my
is
answer
go with
right
your
now.
gut. This is
Boom!
go
I'm going with my gut. I know what my
Good,
answer
because
is.
you're going first.
Fire Emblem. Borrowed it from Mario. Not returning it for 2 years.
That's a good argument.
It's a pretty
my
epic
God.
argument.
All right, I'm gonna talk. Do you want me to talk about how great Fire Emblem is? But
This
at the
is-
time, the
The point here is
SD.
not to convince people to buy it for themselves.
Oh,
but to
you're right,
convince
you're right, you're
people
right.
to
Okay.
borrow.
All right, my actual. Then I. Oh man, do I have
You-
to
you
stick with
already
my
answered.
answer?
You already answered.
All right, look.
You did it
so,
to me when you were judged.
I'm not gonna lie. I never bought Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. I never bought it. I borrowed it from Mario, and I played it until that game was literally burnt out. And then I gave it back to him like 2 years later. Like he was like, "Hey man,
No, you let Chris Hawk borrow it.
I let
he
Chris-
didn't give it back to like
I
a
let
year
Chris
later.
Hawk borrow it, and then he had it for a year. And this, I'm not lying. We literally had. It was a great game,
I'm pretty
but I
sure
never
I
bought
might
it.
have grabbed it in the.
I think
the
you tried
circulation
it.
there.
I think you tried it, and it all went around and then went back to Mario.
No, I remember
I have
now
it
because
again
I played it on the Game Boy Advance emulator on the.
That was me going with my
There was
gut.
a Game Boy emulator that I played it on.
Okay, which you didn't buy it then either.
No,
Is that technically borrowing it? It's kind of stealing.
I pirated the shit out of that game.
Yeah, nobody bought that game.
Yar!
Mario's the only person I know that bought that game, and then it got hoarded around to everybody.
Just a
Alright.
fact check, we don't condone pirating. You should buy your games.
Yeah.
Support.
Yes, buy your
Depends
games.
on-
Well, we do condone borrowing
gut.
from your friends, though, who bought it.
But
We do
support the
condone
video
that.
game industry, and hopefully
Yes,
they
however,
don't-
as
Fire
long
Emblem
as
else.
somebody
Except for
paid
the
their
system
money
ones?
and the developers, producers, whoever the fuck.
So, George, why are you playing emulators?
Because who gives a shit?
I'm kidding, I'm kidding. All right, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones is my answer. I borrowed it from Mario, never bought it, and I've played it. I actually borrowed it again
And
from
he
somebody
he
in
technically
29
never gave it back.
Palms.
I also wanted to,
I did give it back at some point, but then I borrowed it again.
I don't remember.
I also want the record to show my dog wants in on this. Crashes like.
All right, that's my answer. Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. Never bought it, loved it, played it,
Birdo.
pass it around to my
Next up.
friends.
I'm gonna go with Star Ocean. Last Hope. Borrowed
bought
it-
that game.
Borrowed it from my friend
I've heard
3 years ago. Still haven't returned it, and I don't plan on buying it because I pretty much
Seems to be
did.
pretty common here.
So
I'm sensing a trend.
I love you, Mario.
well, I'm gonna return it.
I'm gonna buy it
because,
for you again.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have it
Like I
back?
said,
I
I'm
kept-
done
I
with my
still have it.
360.
Or you could pull a Sean and borrow it from somebody and then trade it in.
No, I'm not gonna do that. That's grimy.
I used to play it on
Just
the bus.
Just in case you
While
guys
you
want
were-
to borrow it again.
All right,
yeah.
so Star Ocean.
Star Ocean. It was very awesome. It's a very interactive RPG. You don't stand still with your characters. You can move around and dodge attacks and everything, and use different special attacks that can be coordinated with your allies. The AI was actually decent enough to not be a problem in that game. There's a lot to do in the game. A lot of hidden stuff. You can get amazing weapons. Dungeons out the dick. And it's a very beautiful game. Like It was the beginning of the Star Ocean series, actually, or one of the precursors to the Star Ocean series.
I've heard that game is literally forever.
It's fantastic.
It takes forever to finish. Like,
I still haven't finished it. That's why I haven't returned it.
3 years.
All right.
3 years.
Anything else? Or is that your argument? Or is
Sexy
that
cat lady.
Enough said.
What came out of his gut? A sexy cat lady. At least someone's
You
getting
can't really
laid.
go wrong.
Honestly,
there.
she was probably the most powerful. Like, you could defeat one of the most powerful bosses just by spamming her X attack, is what it was called. It was just a giant X that stunned the boss and staggered him and fucking let you go to town on him.
All right, Mario B.
Yeah, Mario B.
I want to hear this.
Okay,
He's gonna win.
I'm going to say Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. I'm going to say that because it wasn't as long as the first one. The first one I thought was
Can I
great.
borrow
Like, you just,
Can I borrow it?
You gave it to me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I had...
Actually, he gave it to you, or you gave it to him, and he gave it to me.
Do you have
I
it now?
still have it upstairs.
Well, I bought it originally.
Is that a fact check? Fact check?
I think he has to run upstairs to fact check that.
Yeah.
I'll give me a second.
But I bought it originally, and I wish I didn't buy this game. I wish I would have borrowed it from Joey Hill originally. Because this game, like, it
So you
wasn't...
did buy it originally.
Yeah, but this game isn't... You don't want to buy this game. You just want to borrow it and play it and be like... If you played the first one, just rent it or borrow it. Because this game... It's not as long. The story doesn't keep you as interested as the other one. It's like they didn't know what to do. They just wanted to make another one. And then the first
one's
one,
amazing.
yeah, the first one had a legit story to it. And this one, they kind of ended up, at the end, they kind of ended up just like giving you an option to do you want to capture Vader or do you want to let Vader go and join him?
I gotta stop.
And I thought that was kind of silly because in Star Wars, if you're gonna go by the story in the first one, they basically said this guy created the Republic. This guy was the driving force behind the Rebel Alliance, not the Republic, the Rebel Alliance. My bad. Sorry, Star Wars fans.
I created the cult
And-
of Fire Emblem Sacred Stones.
And at the end of that one, they kind of were like, "Well, now you have an option to do whatever you want with the story." And I was like, "What the hell is this? I want it to be legit to the Star Wars extended universe, which isn't canon now." But even the boss fight at the end with Vader it's like they drew it out to give you more game, and that boss fight kind of was a little dull because you just were like, you fought Vader, he threw stuff at you, you jumped back up on the level. Then you have to jump up the level, you have to get to him. Then you got to do the same thing, blah blah blah.
So it was pretty much like classic boss fights where the boss was just a repetitive action.
Yeah, but the only boss
Forever.
fight in that one was Vader at the end. Other than that, it was just making another game the success off of the first one, and like I said,
So it's an unneeded sequel.
yeah, it's an unneeded sequel.
Man, I wish you were on that panel.
So and I was so hyped for that game. So I say, if you have a 360 still, and you want to play Force Unleashed 2, and you've never have, don't buy it.
All right,
Get Battlefield
I'm
4.
gonna add on to my argument real quick. For one, Sacred Stones is actually a really good game. In fact, a lot of people say that it's the best Fire Emblem game, just because of the way their class system progressed and the way you could branch off into different classes.
awesome.
I think one of the reasons why you have to borrow Sacred Stones almost because of how rare it is. Sacred Stones is actually a really, really good game, and that's why I borrowed it for so long. And I actually beat it 3 times before I returned it, or actually 3 times before I gave it to Chris Hawk. But it's really, really rare. If you
But
go on
is it worth
eBay,
buying?
it's worth quite a bit. If you can fact check me on that.
You know what? Just because you said that.
Sexy cat lady.
Sexy cat lady. That's all I need.
All right, we got facts.
Star Ocean is the most expensive game to buy. Just if you wanted to know if price matters,
Don't buy it.
because you can get Fire Emblem and a Game Boy Advance to play it with for $13 on eBay.
No way.
Yeah, there's a bid right here. It's only got a couple hours left, and Force Unleashed is like $10, so it's probably the cheapest.
It's not even worth $10 though.
I
It's
actually own Star Ocean, but I got it for $15 from GameStop when they were like, "We're not selling PS2 games anymore. Buy these."
Yeah, my buddy bought it for.
my argument
cheap.
against Joey saying Fire Emblem is rare, I would have to say
It's rare.
that
It is
You-
really rare.
but that game is so
The
good.
hard copy.
It is so rare. Even the Fire Emblem
Can we get a
Awakening
fact check on that?
is pretty
Yeah.
hard to
How
find.
rare
But
is
those
Fire
game-
Emblem?
But those games are so good. You should buy them You should buy those games.
But you can't find them, so you have to borrow. You literally have no choice.
Yeah, but my game,
Or you can
you
emulate
don't.
them. I mean,
you don't need
don't
to
do
buy.
that.
My game is so unnecessary. You shouldn't buy it at all. But if you
Then
want,
why am I going to borrow it if it's unnecessary? I'm not even going to borrow it at that point.
You played the first one, right?
I did. I love the
You
first one.
just borrow it because you want to see what the second one's all about.
If you wanted Fire Emblem Sacred Stones in box unopened, it'd be $55.
Holy shit.
For me, it was just at the time it was really rare because I didn't really go on eBay at that time.
There's a lot of other $100 ones.
Yeah.
$100.
All right.
Anyways,
I'm gonna call it. I am going to give the point to Mario.
Ooh, John Mario.
Why?
three-way tie right now.
It is actually. Everybody's got 2 points.
There's some tinkle sprinkles in my underpants.
Do you have like
If I did
speedrun
that,
questions?
I, would pee
I have
everywhere.
plenty.
Okay, because
You have
like
like
they have the
I have to-
tiebreaker.
well,
No, I'm kidding.
There is
Or,
going to be a
I might
tiebreaker.
have the
Right now,
tiebreaker.
and
Who
I
knows?
should
Depends on who
have
gets
that.
the next point.
Exactly.
I might have to do that.
Let's see.
But it's begun.
It
All right.
has begun.
We got another question number 7, final one.
That's what you get.
Okay.
Next point is guaranteed a slot in the lightning round.
I like slots.
The remaining 2, the slots are fun. The remaining 2 will have to undergo a tiebreaker question. Going off of Batman's success, what superhero should get the next focused video game franchise? And we are going to start off with Birdo.
Don't worry, I can edit.
Go with your gut.
Do you want to hold off till?
Yeah, I'll pass it.
Okay. Mario, you're up next.
I want to pass.
My answer.
Not open.
I think if I go with my gut, just
Actually, you're supposed to pass.
going
me.
off
I'm the
like
one who
Arkham
brought-
Asylum, correct? Arkham,
You
like,
fail.
The whole series.
Caught it.
like the whole series.
Yes.
I'd say Green Arrow, and I'd say especially make it based off of Arrow the TV show
So like Tomb
because,
Raider?
huh?
So it'd be like Tomb Raider almost. Well,
You can make it just like if they're done with Batman's story after this game, you can like do what Assassin's Creed does and just keep making games like it, but do Green Arrow because and base it off the show because those are some unique villains. I mean, you can even tweak it a little bit like how they did with Arkham Asylum. I mean, it's kind of based off the animated series, right? Can you fact check that?
1 second. Is what's his name?
Deathstroke?
Or Slade?
Yeah.
Isn't he in the Batman?
Yeah, he's in the second
area?
one.
Since Deathstroke is like one of the main villains in season 1.
But I think
Spoiler alert.
But people like that. People like the Deathstroke addition in the second one, the fight and stuff, like him being in that game. So I'd say add him, put him in the game to keep him relevant. I mean, and to bring him back. If you can even do all the sneaking around and stuff, and he has all kinds of cool gadgets like Batman has in Arkham Asylum and stuff. You can have him use different bows to get on top of buildings and stuff to shoot the different gargoyles and ledges. You can have him use the smoke bomb arrows to drop smokes and stuff. You can have him. You can even use the boxing glove arrow
the
and
best arrow ever
and stun
created.
people. I think if you want to keep it dark, just like Batman, and you want to continue with that, instead of just drawing out Batman, I say bring in Arrow, Green Arrow.
All right. Joey.
All right.
Was it?
So it's really hard to go off of this because superhero games don't have the best of reputation. Batman has a great reputation. There are a couple decent Spider-Man games out there, but I think that's about it. And there's recently a lot of successful superhero games are superhero mashups. With all the Marvel Ultimate Alliance and
I still have
what is it? What was
copy of number
the
2.
fighting one with all the DC characters recently?
Injustice.
All right, but so we need to focus on a single character. I'd have to say Captain America right now. And the reason I say Captain America is because he's got 2 movies. He's in the Avengers. You got a lot to work with a lot of Captain America stuff. And I think Captain America would transition really well into a game similar to that of Batman and could be really successful. Especially if you throw the Winter Soldier in there and you got Red Skull. I just think Captain America right now, he's really popular. A great game. Don't worry about the movies. Do something completely different. Bring in some new villains, give it some good action, throw some platforming in there, because Captain America, he does a lot of platforming in the movies. The way he's able to, his acrobatics and the way he jumps around and climbs on things, you could be really successful in that manner. And also, the combat with Captain America is fantastic. I would think that you really would want to stick to the comic books and stay not too much to the movies, because Captain America movies do enough justice for Captain America to make those movies good. But that's why Batman was successful. The Batman games is because they stuck to the comic books and less to the movies. All right. So that's the end of my answer. Captain America. I'm gonna go with him.
All right.
Go with the Marvel side on this one.
Birdo.
I'm gonna have to, since I've actually just started watching Arrow. And Joey Hill took my answer.
Go with your
Should've
gut.
said it didn't come until he
Shouldn't have delayed, man. You went first.
Yeah, but you know what came to my mind? Insurgency.
There's no superheroes in Insurgency, okay?
You know what? America is a superhero, okay?
That's why I chose Captain America.
Boom, freedom.
So who are you backing here?
I'm confused.
I'm gonna have to go with Arrow because
He said America's a superhero.
yeah.
My only argument against Captain America is they made one for 360 that's kind of like a platformer, and it's kind of
My
mixed
question
with,
is, was that one, because let's go with your gut, I didn't do any research, was that one before the movies? So would it
came
take
after,
off like it would now?
It came after the first movie, when the first movie came out. So, I mean, or it came out right before the movie came out.
Was it movie based?
That I don't think so. I think it's just Captain America missions, like
I think
what
there's
he
a lot
did.
of fact checks on the questions I just asked.
I think it's just based off of his missions. I don't think it's solely based off of the movie.
Okay, but it's like kind of like a movie, and then the missions that he did in the movie
What game
that
are
we
we
get to see.
talking about?
Captain America, the first Avenger game.
I didn't even know
It's
there was
either-
one.
Is it first Avenger? It's for 360.
Or Super Soldier.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, it's Super Soldier, and it's based off the first movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
but all the missions aren't.
Yeah, the game I'm talking about is not movie based. It's comic book based to go off of the success of Batman.
Do you two have anything to add?
Arrow's cool as fuck.
Captain America's my favorite superhero. So
It's a good
Joey
show.
going
Should I watch episode 2?
Joey going with that is like, I'm like, oh, Captain America.
Smack to the face.
I can't argue against
I love
my
you,
favorite
Mario.
superhero.
Stars and Stripes.
Stars and Stripes. Freedom. Final justice. But I just feel like if they're gonna go into if they're gonna continue the game play, the game style, I say use Arrow, the TV show, because I feel like it fits best with it, and it's dark, it's gritty. You can have all those villains doing things, like you can have Vertigo be like the Scarecrow, like he messes with your mind. You can have it doesn't have to be exact, but it could work.
I think for me, if I'm going to play a superhero game, I'm a comic book fan, so I want the comic book background in this superhero. And I think if you did that with Captain America, you'd have a lot of success, because Captain America's his comic books go way back, and he has a lot of fans, and he has a lot of great villains.
You can do that with Arrow.
All right, I'm going to stop both of y'all. Here, what I am about to ask y'all will make or break you on this question.
Break me.
30 seconds. Pitch me the first game in this series. Go.
The first game?
First game in Green Arrow.
Okay. Shit.
I'm going to extend it to a minute because this is go with your gut.
Okay, so you start off the game. You just get back from the island. There's a news flash. They're like, Oliver Queen has just been rescued from the island that he was on for 5 years. We thought he was dead, but he's not dead. And then he gets back to oh my god, and he gets like oh my god. He comes back. He's like he starts to see like how everything's changed, like how it's corrupt, how it's like how there's all these people all these business people have taken over, and you don't have. I mean, if you base it off this TV show, I kind of contradict myself there. I mean, you could do basically the first season in the game, but I think you can mix it up a little bit, like do in between the episodes and stuff, and I think you could. You can even add like when you get to like, you can even like DLC. You can.
Frodo's like sniffing his beard right now.
It's to prevent Joey Hill's farts coming through.
Oh god.
This is chemical warfare over here, which is included in the Captain America game.
Give me a second. You'll have a chance soon.
I think that if you make it just like the Batman game with a little bit with a little bit more parkour-y stuff, I think it might appeal to what they're doing with Assassin's Creed.
So more parkour, less grappling hook.
Upgrades to
Yeah,
your bow
but you
and
can still
arrow.
use the grappling hook
That'd be
if you
pretty
want
good.
to. And of course, you're going to have the boss fights there. Yeah, you can upgrade your weapons. You can upgrade.
Who is the main villain
The main villain?
in the first game? Who is
Deathstroke.
the main villain? Deathstroke. Got it.
Yes.
And your time is up. I think.
I don't know. Just go, Joey. You're
Joey.
All right, George, you wake up. You don't got work today. Huzzah! You turn your Xbox on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you're getting ready to play your game, and you look over the side. There's a Captain America thing. You're like, I don't know. I'm gonna check that out. So you click on the trailer. It opens up. It starts. You're gonna fight through trenches. You're gonna jump over things. You're gonna have to deal with Red Skull's contraptions, his traps, his mechanics. You're gonna have to fight bosses. All his scientists that he had. You're gonna have to fight them and their machinations that they make.
Is it gonna be like an open world type of thing?
Well, you're gonna go from level to level, kind of like Batman. A little bit like it's kind of like you have to go from section of the map to section of the map type deal, like a Borderlands sort of Batman thing. But that's your trailer, and then like I said, you're gonna have in-depth combat, multiple combos that you have to pull off. If you don't pull these combos off, it's not gonna be easy. Combat's gonna be great.
All right.
You're also gonna have to run and jump and platform. I like platform aspects, and I think that with Red Skull as your bad guy, you're gonna have to come up against not just
So Red
platforming.
Skull is going to be your
Yeah,
main
if you're gonna start a series with Captain America, you need to start with the Red Skull back in World War II, and then work your way from there. But the cool thing about that is if you go back into Captain America's background, the Red Skull is not the only Nazi bad guy. So you have the possibility for boss after boss after boss from all these Nazi scientists and crazies that the Red Skull had underneath him.
My game is working off what people already love, and it's continuing that gameplay style. Maybe adding a little more Assassin's Creed with it, a little more parkour with the parkour stuff, but it's taking you back to Arkham Asylum Route 1, and then you can build back up to what it has been. And there's different aspects to it because Arrow is a different he's a different hero, and he has different villains
different
and
skill set.
and you can even add a lot of story to it, a lot of drama that could draw you into this.
George, what's more veteran friendly than Captain America? Okay.
That's-
And you have a lot to do with the Red Skull. The Red Skull, when Captain America goes against him, it's not just about how he fights. Captain America has to outsmart Red Skull on multiple occasions, and Red Skull has tons of agents after agents, scientists, crazy guys.
What would
That Captain America not just has to beat with his physical skills, but he has to outsmart them, and that's why this game would be successful.
So there would be no really variation in weapons and like fighting tactics.
Well, I mean,
It would get repetitive until you got to Red Skull.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Arrow has different
Yeah,
villains.
with Arrow you could upgrade. You could do possibly research new types.
Well, I mean, with
arrowheads
this Captain America game,
to-
you're gonna have different combat skills. I'm gonna give you combat tree and combat tree after combat tree, so you can customize your Captain America combat fighting style however you want to build it. If you want to focus more on the shield throwing, focus more on the shield throwing. If you want to focus more on fist fighting
So
and
it's
stuff like
just
that,
gonna be
if you want to take it
fisting.
technical and work more on your counters and stuff like that,
fisting
But
and shielding.
if you want to go with that, I mean, we can do a lot with different skill trees and stuff like that, and upgrading your Captain America to
Gotta
be
break
your
through that
Captain
ceiling.
America.
I'm gonna call it.
Don't break through that.
I am actually gonna give it to Mario with Green Arrow because
America.
no,
Mark, who would
because
you have picked?
because it is very true
America.
that
America.
it is very true that the Batman series, the franchise, was really freaking dark, and I think that's one of the aspects that people kind of latched onto. And with Captain America, about the only challenge he's ever overcome was being a 50s guy in the 2000s.
Parting his hair to the left.
I
or
mean,
to
my
the
game
right?
I didn't talk about the 2000s in my game.
Yeah, you pretty much threw it into World War II.
Yeah, you made me sell the game in the in the go with your gut version.
Well, I mean, it was up in the air. I mean, I
All right,
couldn't,
let's go.
Tiebreaker.
I couldn't have figured
We got
it
a
out.
tiebreaker between me and Berto. So who's gonna get to go pee, and
All
who's
right.
gonna have to stay for the lightning
I
round?
already
Joey.
peed, so I'm good.
Oh.
I'm just gonna stay regardless.
Tiebreaker.
All right.
So we got
Maker.
Berto and we got Joey.
Yay.
My tiebreaker question for y'all: you have 1 minute to pitch me the next biggest next gen console.
Oh Jesus fuck!
Joey, you're going first.
All right. For
Are
me,
you
George.
taking this from my Sega?
Huh?
Are you taking it from my Sega?
No,
pitch
this
from
is
last
something that it popped into my head immediately as you said the question. It's because this is go with your gut. So I'm going to go with the first thing that popped into my mind. Last night, I finished an anime. The anime that I finished, Sword Art Online. What makes Sword Art Online great is the game system that they play on. It's a nerve gear. You put it on your head, virtual reality. Suddenly, you're
like
in
Dot
the
Hack.
game.
Oculus.
Yeah,
So
like Dot
similar
Hack.
to the Hack.
Oculus, something like that. But
Oculus,
we
Because
need,
I haven't watched Sword Art Online
we
yet.
need
yet.
a major developer to take that technology to the next level, put you in a virtual reality universe, and let you. So you're no longer holding a controller. You're laying in your bed, but your brain is there. You are in this game, and it's you. Everything you do. So your skills are going to be based on how well you coordinate. You know, it's virtual reality. You can have shooters in this thing. You're going to be running. You're actually going to be running and shooting and ducking behind cover and killing things. It's not going to be you with a controller. You're going to be doing it because this is a virtual reality console. You want to play an RPG with swords and stuff? You got to learn how to fight with that sword. You're not just mashing X, Y, X, X, Y, A, B. You're swinging a sword with your hand. It's not.
You just
Why are
did
you
the
laying down?
Inazuma drop.
Aren't they sleeping in Sword Art Online?
Yeah, well, I mean, your brain is there, and so what you perceive and what you see, that's what you're doing.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Berto.
I'm just gonna have to go with computer. What else can you do to improve on that? Oculus Rift. First thing that came to mind when he started describing that.
What I'm talking about is we need a major developer to pick up that technology and work.
I mean, it is.
The indie has set it up.
No, it is for sale. I've seen it.
Berto.
Fact check.
It
But
hasn't
other
been
than
very successful though.
other than computer, I mean, he has a better argument than me.
Berto,
I'm not-
I am very sorry to say it. You were so close. I had such high hopes for you.
No, I couldn't. That is the thing I couldn't think of. I was like,
But
computer.
I'm sorry, you are not proceeding to.
You
Yeah,
made
no.
it farther than last week. That's all.
I
I'm
did, I did, and I was that one. I got that stone. So
I gotta shake your hand.
don't touch my beard. No.
Berto,
I'm having
crack you another
flashbacks.
beer and wait
I'm
for
having
Berto.
seizures. No.
Far back Wednesday, Friday.
Berto, just wait for the speed round to end. Drink
no.
another beer and wait for board games.
I will.
Speed round.
To clarify, is Joey going into this with 2 or 3 points?
He is going in with 3. That
Mario's
is
4.
Mario to 3. Mario has 3.
Oh, it's 3.
Joey has 3.
Okay.
So this is an epic tiebreaker.
And you have 7 more questions, Dave.
I have 7. I
Okay.
prepared an 8th speed round question for just this.
Okay.
All right. Question number 1. Which arcade? You're in an arcade.
Yeah.
There's 2 shooting games available.
Uh-huh.
Time Crisis or Area
Time
51?
Crisis.
I have not finished!
Sorry, I said the answer.
Time Crisis or Area 51?
Time Crisis.
Area 51.
Why?
How many
Let's start with Joey.
George, how long have you played Time Crisis? Where was Time Crisis? At the movie theater, waiting for the movie, playing Time Crisis. How good did you get to Time Crisis? How good were you at boot camp because you played a little bit of Time Crisis? Time Crisis is classic. Area 51, I didn't know about that until long after Time Crisis.
I want the record to state that actually none of my military training benefited from Time Crisis.
All of it.
Nor did it benefit from Area 51, so...
Look, I feel like I shot better at my pistol quals in the Navy
That's pistol.
because of Time Crisis.
That's
It
pistol.
was Time Crisis.
If you fail a pistol qual, you are retarded.
But George, Time Crisis, it's classic.
Mario, why
Step on
Area
the thing,
51?
step on it, cover, step.
Aliens.
He went with the anti-gravity anime.
God.
It's amazing.
How do you do that?
You're Mario B. That's how. Oh god, that's a tough one. I'm gonna give it to Mario.
Oh my god.
All right, next question.
Next question.
I want it.
Silence. Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Give it to Joey.
Alright. It is tied up 4-4. Next one. For PC games, are you going to connect the controller or are you going to use your mouse?
Uh,
I'm getting a controller.
Mouse.
Why?
I love console games, and I like to play with a controller. I own a controller for various PC games, so I actually play PC games with a controller. I feel like you have more control in the game than you do with a keyboard, because there's a lot of crap going on with keyboard and mouse.
Mario, why mouse?
I feel like it's more difficult to get the controller connected to your computer.
I plugged it in. It's called Microsoft.
I feel like you gotta download a bunch of crap sometimes, and sometimes the software
download
doesn't.
anything. I
The
plugged it in
software
an Xbox controller.
the software doesn't work for the controller, and the mouse. It's just. I mean,
go.
there's all kinds of games you can play with the mouse.
I need to say something. You need to download drivers to connect the Xbox One controller to your computer to make it work. Some games don't support it. Not all games support it. It's not a thing.
So red in the face.
Oh my god!
Yes.
You get more. You can react quicker with the mouse and keyboard.
All right, just call it real quick before I say
Mario.
my... Damn it. Why did you say anything? This is a speed round.
I couldn't help
I just
it.
said the first thing that came to
No.
my mind and then tried to sell it.
I'm sorry.
Joey,
That's how the game works.
I'm sorry.
Joey.
Exploded. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna stop y'all right
Where's
there.
Mario at? How many points does Mario have?
It's
It's 5-4.
Next question. It's speed round. We're wasting time.
Next question: Cabela's Big Game Hunter or Dangerous Hunts?
Big game hunter.
Big game hunter.
Mario said it first.
Damn it. Where's Mario?
How many questions?
How many questions are left?
We're on number 4, 3.
3. All right. Keep
So you
going.
can still bring it back. You can still bring it back.
Yep.
League of Legends or Dota?
Legends.
I've never played League of Legends. I'm undefeated.
2-0.
Joey's getting the point. He's retired. He's 2-0 right now.
No,
He's not going to come out of retirement. Number 6. Conan the Barbarian or Scorpion King?
Conan the Barbarian.
Mario said it first.
Damn it. One question left, right? How much does Mario have?
He's beating you by 2.
That's game.
Mario B is our champion.
Oh, the Barbarian beat the Severus or Severus type character.
No, because that's not Severus. Severus wouldn't have
Yeah, I know, but I had to go
fucking
with something new. I actually went with Varric. That's what I was trying to sell to you.
Good game, Joe Hill.
I thought so.
Well done.
Well done.
You won it long before that last question.
Yes. I'll end it there.